Big bulging boobies, big bulging boobies, big bulging boobies, big bulging boobies. Okay, we've got the test audio. The working title for this is Bezos, Billionaire, Blunder, the Prime Package Fiasco. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Little I Stole This Gag from Young Gravy and Lil Dicky. What do you and Jeffrey Breaking Bald Bezos have in common? You've both probably sent nudes to someone. He may have more money than sin and could probably commit a murder and then pay off a foreign government to look the other way, but it's kind of humbling to know that he's a human enough to send his twig and berries to another person. All for a little hit of that white dragon called dopamine. Also, that last part about dopamine is a fact I finagled out of a sketchy article based on a study about what happens after you send a nude, thus making me the closest thing to an expert on the topic. But more seriously, what was up with that one time he got caught sending pictures of his Indiana bones to another woman? For years, possibly even decades, now I have mulled over the fact that one of the world's richest men could be caught literally with his pants down. Everyone around me has had to listen to me talk about the time a billionaire's penis was attached allegedly to a murder and a Middle Eastern government. So in this essay, I will be talking about Jeffrey Dahmer Bezos' penis. January 12th, 1964, a bright-eyed, bald baby boy is born in New Mexico, the home of Breaking Bad and the High School Musical spin-off Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. That one's for the girlies. This boy's teenage mother names him Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen. Skip ahead 4 years, that boy's mother marries Mike Bezos, who adopts him and gives him his last name. In 1993, a still bald Jeffrey Epstein Bezos reads an article about the internet growing at a rate that sounds honestly made up. He then comes up with the idea for an online bookstore and founds the company with the help of his ride-or-die wife, Mackenzie, and a small business loan of $300,000 from his parents. Insert Trump's small business loan clip.
Epic Orange Man was given a small loan of $300,000.
February 1st, 2018, Amazon records profits of $2 billion. Jeffy B is riding high. February 5th, 2018, Jefferson Bezos sends out a memo to staff titled The Corporate Rules of Cool, which lists missionaries being young and winning as cool. Mercenaries are of course listed as uncool. Sometime in April or May of that year, Jeff Koons Bezos, don't laugh, goes whole hog and sends pics of his whole hog to TV personality Lauren Sanchez, possibly in an effort to spite his current wife Mackenzie for being 2 centimeters taller than him. For any normal man, this would just mean divorce and a bit of embarrassment, but this is the penis of one of the wealthiest men on the planet. So naturally, pictures of his Blue Origin rocket are linked to a corrupt government. Jeff with a G owns the Washington Post, which had articles written by Saudi government critic Jamal Khashoggi. Khashoggi would later on enter a Saudi consulate to do business and end up only leaving in garbage bags, while someone else pretending to be him for the cameras would walk out in his clothes. This is fucked up for a variety of reasons, let alone the implications for freedom of the press. This is linked back to Jeff's wiener through the thread of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who is known by secret intelligence officials to not only have ordered the hit, but also teleconferenced in for part of it, taunted Jeffrey with his own naked pictures. You see, early in the year, before the hit, Jeffrey and the Crown Prince exchanged numbers at an event. Of course, this was before the murder of Khashoggi, but the Saudi government wasn't exactly known for their human rights activism at the time. Silly things like the moral high ground don't seem to come into play when millions of dollars in deals are at stake. But then there's the question of how the Crown Prince came to have pics of Mr. Bezos' hot dog. Well, some sites reported that Lauren Sanchez herself sent the steamy messages and pics to her brother, who sold them to the National Enquirer. It's never been publicly spoken about how the pics got from her to her brother, but seeing as King Joffrey is still dating her to this day, one can assume it was probably taken from her phone without permission. It's a bit murkier from there, but those pics ended up in the hands of the Crown Prince. Possibly from the world's creepiest group chat between the head of the National Enquirer and the Crown Prince. Honestly, the texts themselves aren't all that scandalous. They would be almost endearing if they weren't so abysmally down bad and he wasn't the winner of capitalism. The J-Man had his entire world briefly rocked by these leaked nudes. He had to publicly describe the contents of his glamour shots. In an oddly humanizing way, Jeffadoodle is no different from you or I for sending pics of his wiener. Humans have been finding different ways to show off their horniness since the Paleolithic era. There is evidence that our smooth-brained ancestors would paint cave drawings, and stone carvings have been found in the shape of thick. Throughout history, people have shared their heat with loved ones and any civilian caught in the crossfire. From Voltaire writing, "I kiss your pretty arse and all your enchanting person" to his lover, to James Joyce calling his wife his naughty fuckbird in a letter. People have been sharing how horny they are through any means necessary. This internal need to risk it for the biscuit is built into our very bone. You know which one I mean. Before I move on, I researched the first ever dick pic sent, and it's Sarah Goodrich's painting of her breasts in 1828, which just squeaks by on a technicality since it's not technically a dick pic. Plus, this isn't a democracy. Not that those exist. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, is probably what primetime Jeff said to himself when his bill came due. The obvious ramifications of him hanging dong was the erosion of his marriage to Mackenzie. As she had been helping him since the creation of the company, she was entitled to a piece of the pie. The Kindle King was forced to give her $38 billion. This instantly made her one of the richest women in the world, and is technically the world's most expensive dick pic. Mackenzie, now going by Mackenzie Scott, being the bad bitch that she is, set out to be the other side of the coin to the one-click wonder Jeff, and started donating considerable amounts of money to various charities. From 2019 to the end of 2022, she has given away more than $14 billion, no strings attached. You could argue that there should probably be a way to make sure this money is used properly, but to that I would say it's still better than what Jeff has done. I'm running out of nicknames for him. There's an argument to be made that the whole Bezos taking a pic of his Fire Stick was the first domino in the chain that led to him eventually stepping down as CEO of Amazon later on, although I have no proof of this, and I refuse to spend 30 seconds searching for it. In conclusion, Jeff the Galactic Gazillionaire, despite losing $38 billion, seeing that money used for charities, having to describe his nudes online, getting taunted by a Saudi crown prince, and stepping down as CEO of Amazon, he honestly seems kinda happier. He's still with Lauren Sanchez to this day, and posts pics partying with her on Instagram. We could all learn a lesson from Space Cowboy Bezos about the true cost of love, which just so happens to be $38 billion and the lightning deal reveals we sent along the way. Thanks for listening to me talk about penis, a topic I'm truly passionate about. If you want more cock talk, hit the like button and subscribe. In the future, I'd like to do little rants like this on topics that I'm weirdly passionate about, and hopefully you find those interesting. There's a few more I have planned before I run out of ideas, and also we'll still be doing the reaction videos. Anyway, hope you like them.
Timmy, it's your boy Lil Timmy Tim. What up, statistics class? I'm coming through live from G25. Yeah. Live from G25. Let's go. Statistic, yep. Statistic, yep. Statistic, yep. Statistic, yep. Miss Law M. Miss Law M. Miss Law M. Miss Law M. Statistic, yep. Statistic.